Hey everybody, I'm Alan with Bricks and Blocks Gaming, and you're about to watch the 10th battle for my campaign playing through 5 Parsecs from Home, which is the solo sci-fi adventure war game written by Ivan Sorensen and published by Modifius Entertainment. In this video, I'll also be reminding you to brush and floss your teeth. Now let's get to turn 10 of my campaign for 5 Parsecs from Home. With Beldara, Rhett, and Charlie having left to defend a local village from some more mutant bugs that escaped a crash-landed transport, the rest of Gibbs' renegades continue on to Corvar Omicron, to the headquarters of Galactic Solutions, where their leaders are currently gathering to discuss the recent destruction of their bug factory. With all the bigwigs from the company, some shareholders, and some frustrated clients coming together for a large meeting, security has been diverted from other parts of their facilities to their meeting bunker, making this the perfect time to strike where least expected. While Talfo Yaris is taking this opportunity for his own sabotaging plans, he's sent his hacker with Gibbs renegades to the Galactic Solutions data facility with the mission to upload a virus into their systems and wipe out all the information the company has regarding how to create bioengineered weapons and mutants. Gibbs renegades still have just one patron here in the Corvar cluster, which is Talfo Yaris. They have 2 rivals now, 10 credits, 4 story points, and have an active quest should they ever decide to complete it. As mentioned earlier, in the last battle, Beldara led a small team to protect a village that was overrun by Galactic Solutions mutant bugs, and she has 4 experience points left after increasing her speed to 5. She's still wearing a screen generator and carrying her rattle gun with the nanosludge modification and a blast pistol. Charlie, who had a complete overhaul not long ago, joined her on this side quest and is still carrying a rattle gun as well, and a glare sword, and his body structure has been reinforced with a suit of combat armor. Rhett was their pilot on this mission, and he now has 1 experience point after he also increased his speed to 5. He's carrying his auto rifle with the bipod and seeker sight, a machine pistol, a grapple launcher, and wearing stealth gear. At the end of the last turn, a character event sent him on a 2-turn mission to meet up with some of Talfo's financial partners to secure some aid for their crew as they help with their mutual cause. While those 3 were off on that mission, the rest of the crew has been heading to this turn's objective, and their equipment, experience points, and stats haven't changed. Captain Danik Krell has 2 experience points. He's wearing combat armor and is carrying his blast rifle with the quality sight and his hand cannon with the laser sight. Baffy has his auto rifle with the tracker sight, a machine pistol, and a screen generator, and he has 1 experience point. Dr. O has his hand laser with the stun attachment, a military rifle, and is wearing the displacer and has no experience points. And Ugrak has 5 experience points. He has a military rifle, his shatter axe, his combat armor, and is also equipped with a flak screen that can help against area effect attacks. He had a neural optimizer implant installed at the start of the last turn that's supposed to make him immune to being stunned, but I totally forgot about it during the battle you're about to watch, so apparently the device just needs a little tweaking before it will function correctly. To start out this turn, I'm not doing any traveling, and I can completely skip my upkeep step this phase. I have nothing to pay on my ship, no one is in the sick bay, and during the crew tasks last turn, I found some basic supplies which allow me to skip the upkeep costs for this turn. At the end of my last turn, Rhett went off to meet with some of Talfo Yaris' business partners to possibly help acquire some equipment and other supplies that they might need for their cause, and Rhett is going to be gone for 2 turns, so he cannot do any crew tasks this turn. And then Beldara and Charlie, who were both with Rhett last turn, dug through the wreckage of the crashed cargo ship, and they're going to trade some of their stuff they found, starting with Beldara, 3, and then Charlie, 42. So Beldara found a personal weapon. Maybe this was something that belonged to the commander on that ship, which I'll roll up here in a moment. And then Charlie found some trade goods. I had some of these before. Every time I arrive on a new planet, I can roll a d6 to see how many credits I can sell it for there. I can choose not to sell it on a planet I go to, but if I ever roll a 1, they become damaged and are worthless. And the low-tech weapon I found is a 47. That'll probably be getting sold soon. It's just a colony rifle. And I'd almost forgot part of the reason Rhett was gone was because they installed a merchant link onto Tess. And this allows my team to carry out 1 free trade action each campaign turn without sending a crew member to do it. So I'll go ahead and roll that up. So they're able to trade in more of the stuff they found in the wreckage and get 99. Well, I guess I kind of have some insurance here in case my ship ever gets damaged. This will count as 1d6 credits for the purpose of repairing any hull damage, single use. It doesn't say to roll it up now, so I'll just make a note that when I need to do some repairs, we'll find out how much that will save me. For the rest of my team that are going on this next mission, they have some specific tasks they're trying to accomplish. So Danik and Dr. O are both going to do some decoying to help avoid the 2 rivals they have now, while Baffy and Ugrak are both going to go exploring to start scoping out the site of their next battle. Baffy's exploration roll, 72, and Ugrak's 55. So Baffy rolled up a promising lead, plus 3 credits if I do an opportunity mission. So apparently while he was exploring, someone offered him a job, but they've got something else they're trying to get done. But meanwhile, Ugrak overheard something. They gain a rumor, and in this case it'd be a quest rumor since I've technically started a quest. For the job I'll take this turn, I have an outstanding patron mission from Talfo that I rolled up last turn that'll get me 2 credits. And I have to finish it this turn because of what I rolled last turn. And there were no hazards or conditions, and my benefit is, of course, an additional roll on the loot table if I complete my mission. And since Danik and Dr. O are doing decoys, they cancel out the potential 2 rivals that could get in the way of my mission this turn. I'll roll up everything for my battle, starting with my deployment condition, 5. That is no condition, which is always nice. For a notable site, 11. That is also nothing, which is unfortunate because this is benefits I could potentially get. The objective of this patron mission, 8. Alright, for a patron mission, that is a protect mission. So this is kind of similar to my recent battle in the bug factory. Only this time I've got a extra VIP character with some pretty basic stats that joins me. They set up 12 inches from the center of the table, and then if they spend a full round within 3 inches of the center, I win. If I achieve it in the first 4 rounds of the game, I earn an additional 2 credits. For my enemy category, 53, and the specific enemy, 74. 53 is hired muscle, and I guess this is fitting for a protect mission. I'm facing off against some corporate security, +1 to their numbers. They panic on a 1 or 2, speed of 4, +1 combat, 4 toughness, and they're defensive. And then they also have a saving throw of 6+. Corporations pay better than Unity Armed Forces, plus great dental insurance. And I might say that dental care is very important. And I brush my teeth 2 times a day for 2 minutes each time and floss daily. And you should too. And now to determine how many of them there'll be, I bump my 2s up to 3, and there's +1 to this, so there'll be just 4 of them. Now to determine if there will be a unique individual, and with a 9 that means there will be a unique individual. We'll roll up what that character will be, 57. Well, this should be interesting. A mutant bruiser. They have a speed of 4, combat skill of +1, toughness of 5, the Guardian AI. Point of luck, they carry a shotgun and a brutal melee weapon, and they're ferocious, +1 to brawling rolls when initiating combat. A misshapen beast of a creature, irregular in both body and temperament. So this might be why they have that good dental coverage. Maybe whatever this creature is has some pretty gnarly teeth or gum disease. And guardian enemies are attached to another figure. They must always remain within 3 inches of that figure if possible. Almost like they're on a chain or just simply a protector of their controller. And they will move at the same pace and attack the same targets using the same method, firing or brawling whenever possible. With the weapons for the corporate security, normally they roll in column 2, and their specialist rolls in column B. However, since they have that mutant bruiser with them that has a shotgun, I'm just going to give one of the regular soldiers a shotgun and connect that bruiser guardian with him. So we'll roll up the regular weapons for the other 2 regular soldiers and roll for the specialist's weapon. So the regular soldiers will have 6 and the specialist a 1. And that works well for defensive enemies, infantry lasers for the 2 regular guys, and a marksman rifle for their specialist. And for the 2 shotguns the enemies have in this battle, instead of the 8-inch range these have according to the Freelancer's Handbook, I'll give them the full 12-inch range found in the core book, just to give these guys a little bit of an advantage to not have to charge right in against my guys. And now to determine which of the basic soldiers will be their lieutenant. A 1 or 2, it'll be the shotgun wielding one, otherwise it'll be one of the characters with infantry lasers, so it will be one of the infantry laser carrying enemies. This battle takes place on one of the only mountains found on the dwarf planet Corvar Omicron, where Galactic Solutions stores their data backups for all their programs. With the current reduced security, the climb up the backside of the mountain was left unguarded, allowing Gibbs renegades to sneak into the fenced compound. The mission objective requires me to get the VIP, the hacker, to the terminals in the middle of the board so he can upload the virus he's created. If he's killed, we fail. There is a credit bonus if he completes the objective in the first 4 rounds, which for story purposes means they have an easier time escaping as reinforcements haven't arrived yet. I intentionally left the battlefield open to allow the enemy snipers to properly see and guard the area, so moving around will be dangerous while all the snipers are still alive. Their specialist with the marksman rifle is up here. Their infantry laser wielding soldier is here. Their lieutenant with the infantry laser is over here. And their regular trooper with the shotgun and his mutant brawler, also with a shotgun, are down here. And my team is kind of huddled up over here, and they need to quickly get to some cover or start taking down these enemies. So I'll try to seize the initiative to get some bonus actions. Dr. O's Savvy gives us a +3. The enemy is hired muscle, so I get a -1. And I'm saying my scanner bot is with the rest of my crew on test, so they don't get that bonus. So a total of +2, needing a 10. And they definitely do not seize the initiative. So I'll go ahead and roll up my reactions for their first round. The VIP does get a roll, so I've got 5 dice. And I can do a little bit with 2s and 3s. So going over here to my team, I can give a 3 to Danik, and I can give 2s to both Ugrok and to Baffy. However, I don't really want the 3 of them to move too far from where they are, as they're kind of creating a human wall to keep the VIP safe. So Ugrok and Danik will both go into Snapfire mode, and then Baffy, with his speed of 7, is going to come right around here against this wall, because where Dr. O is right here, this marksman specialist down there can actually see him. So Baffy's going to move into position to fire his auto rifle at him. Baffy still has a combat of 0, so this target is in cover, so he needs a 6. First shot misses, not aimed, and the second shot unfortunately also misses. So it's just kind of a normal day here at this base, and all of a sudden the mutant brawler smells something. But before the Galactic Solutions soldiers have a chance to sound the alarm, gunfire starts erupting from over here, up at this sniper tower, and the enemy marksman now turns and fires his marksman rifle at Baffy. There is a little bit of an outcropping that Baffy's hiding behind, but not enough to give him cover from that angle. So that means the enemy will need a 5 or higher to hit. He's got a +1 combat, and he's aiming, so he gets to reroll 1s. So that does hit. Baffy's toughness is only 3. But he ends up blocking that, so he just takes a stun instead. So Baffy's bravery of coming out here to protect Dr. O almost proved fatal as he's pushed back an inch and gets a stun marker. And from there, I'll go to this trooper up here. He's got a long-range weapon, but can't see anybody from long range, so he's going to come right up here to shoot down here. But as he gets there, Danik is going to activate his snap fire mode and fire his blast rifle at him. So that enemy is in cover, meaning Danik needs a 6 to hit. He's got a +2 combat and gets to reroll 1s because of his scope. But with just a 4, he misses. I'm going to go ahead and use a story point, because otherwise Danik's going to be left right out in the open to get shot. So story point lets me re-roll that. And he hits with that one. And that's against a toughness of 4. And he gets past his toughness. But he does have an armor save of 6. Alright, it takes down that first security guard. So this trooper comes over to see what the commotion is all about. And just gets shot. Probably right in the face by Danik. And then moving around to the other side of the board, their lieutenant is going to just move forward up here to take a look. And as soon as he does, Ugarak down here will fire in snap fire mode, just barely within the 24 inches of his military rifle. Ugarak has yet to improve his combat skill, so he does need a straight up 6 to hit this. He is aiming though, and he misses. And because he missed, the lieutenant is now going to fire back. The lieutenant has a combat score of 2, and this is a wide open shot. And he's not aiming though. That does hit with a total of 5. Ugarak has a toughness of 5. Uh-oh, that gets past his toughness. I don't really want anybody dying yet. I'm going to go ahead and spend another story point to re-roll that. Toughness of 5. Okay, he just takes a stun. So Ugarak exchanges fire with that lieutenant, but he ends up taking a hit off his armor. Just kind of bumped back. Takes a stun. And lastly, we'll go to the mutant brawler and his handler. They kind of want to move up towards the action, but they don't have much cover up there, and their shotguns can only reach 12 inches. So, while it might be safer to go this way, instead they're going to come around this way, trying to stay in the covering fire of the lieutenant. And then we'll go to my slow phase. So the hacker over here is going to move 6 inches on a dash right over here, staying behind cover of that wall. And then Dr. O is going to move 3 inches towards this ladder, then 2 inches up, which will allow him to have some protection from this lieutenant up here, but will also just barely give him the 24 inches he needs to fire at that sniper. And Dr. O is another of my characters, still sitting at +0 combat, so he needs a straight up 6. And that is not aimed, so that misses. I'll go ahead and make panic rolls. I took down 1 enemy, so another one will panic on a 1 or a 2. But nobody's leaving. So I'm not really sure if that was a great way to start out my battle. I did take out 1 enemy, but I had to burn through 2 story points, and I've got 2 characters sitting with stun markers. We'll go ahead and roll up reactions for the next round. And not good, just a 1 and a 3 that I can use. And I guess I can actually give the 3 or the 4 to Danik, but that doesn't really matter, as I can only give a 1 to another character. I was really hoping to be able to move both Ugarak and Baffy to better points of cover. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Danik up here to kind of put him in front of Baffy. That's going to put him out in the open, which is really unfortunate. And then Ugarak is going to just duck back here using the 1 from my reaction rolls. And then we'll go to the enemy. And we'll start with that marksman up in the tower shooting at Danik. So this is wide open with a +1 combat, rerolling 1s. That hits him. Danik's toughness is 4. That gets past his toughness. His combat armor gives him a save of 5+. That gets past his armor. So he'll have to use his luck. He'll move 2 inches that direction. And 2 inches based on the direction the table was originally pointed, we'll put him this way. And I think I've been kind of back and forth on whether or not characters are stunned after using a point of luck. The book says they're unharmed, but I don't know if that means just implying they're not dead. But we'll go ahead and give him a stun. And then their lieutenant, who's up here on this tower, can't see anybody from where he's at and can't move to see anybody either. So he's going to hold his ground, just protecting this open area. But then the mutant brawler and his handler, they're both going to just charge 6 inches out here, staying tucked against this building, trying to get into a good position where they can charge at my guys. Then going to my slow phase, Dr. O is going to fire his military rifle at that marksman again. He needs a 6, but he is aiming this time, but still misses. So with Dr. O's limited combat skills, he's basically just giving covering fire. This hacker, he wants to get to the middle of the board, but he's going to kind of jump back. He's a bit scared. And Baffy's just going to run up here against this wall to get ready for the next round. I'll roll up a battle event at the end of round 2, 41. Well, this could definitely be useful. Snapshot. Select a figure in your crew. They may fire a weapon immediately. If the weapon is a pistol, it hits automatically. Well, I don't have anybody in pistol range, but I guess Baffy runs over here, takes some cover, and he is just within range to shoot at that sniper. And Baffy's auto rifle has a tracker sight on it. It's technically still the second round, and in the first round he fired at this sniper, so he gets a +1 to shoot at him since he shot at him in the last round. And I assume he gets both of his shots for this. And he's shooting into cover, so he needs a 6, and he's got that +1 from the sight. First shot misses. Second shot, unfortunately, also misses. And that is really unfortunate because my team is kind of pinned down over here, but we'll go to round 3. I really need some low numbers on these reaction rolls, and I got them. I can use everything there. So Danik can take the 4, Dr. O, Ugrak, and the hacker can take the 3 1s, and Baffy will take the 2, and he's going to start out by shooting at that sniper again. Again, he shot at this guy last turn, so he's got a +1, and he is aiming, so he can reroll any 1s. First shot, that one hits against the toughness of 4. It doesn't get past the toughness, but he is stunned. We'll go ahead and fire the second shot. That one also hits against the toughness of 4, and that one gets past the toughness. And now for his armor save of 6+, that takes down the sniper. So finally some good news in this battle, as Baffy takes down their specialist. And next I'll activate Danik, who, because of moving after using his luck point, he can actually see the mutant brawler right through this pathway here. And the scope that he has on his blast rifle gives him a 20-inch range, which is plenty of distance to hit that creature. That shot is wide open with a +2 to hit. That is a total of 5, so that hits against the bruiser's toughness of 5. And even with the blast rifle's +1 damage, that's just a stun. So we'll take away Danik's stun marker and give it to this guy and push him back an inch. And then Ugrak is going to come over here right in front of Danik and fire his military rifle. He can't see the bruiser now, but he can see his handler. This is wide open, so he needs a 5 or higher, and that misses. And Dr. O is going to try to get in on some of this combat, and he's going to step right out here to where he can peek through just enough to see the bruiser and fire his military rifle. Wide open, so he needs a 5+. Failure. And lastly, the hacker is just going to move up a little bit, try to move into position to maybe get to where he needs to go. And then we're going to move to the bruiser and his handler. The bruiser's stunned, so all he can do is move, but he's determined to see some combat. Their shotguns can only reach 12 inches, so they can move up 4 inches. Will get them right about to here. to where the handler can reach Ugrok with the shotgun. The stun marker will go away. From where he is, Ugrok does not have cover, so he needs a 5 or higher, and he has a +1 combat. He hits with that against Ugrok's toughness of 5. That gets past his toughness. Ugrok's combat armor gives him a save of 5+. He saves. So Ugrok takes a big shotgun blast right to his combat armor, pushing him back an inch, giving him a stun. And with all characters having gone, I'll go ahead and make a panic roll for that one marksman that got taken down. Somebody else will panic on a 1 or a 2, but they're all sticking around. And that's going to be the end of the round. Their lieutenant doesn't want to move from his fortified position, as he has a pretty good idea what Gibbs Renegades are trying to do, and he wants to protect their computer systems and maybe just hold out until reinforcements might come. Reactions for the next round. I can only give a 3 to Danik. And from where Danik is, he's got a clear shot at the handler, so he'll fire his blast rifle. He's got a +2 to this and gets to reroll any 1s. That definitely hits. +1 damage against a toughness of 4. That takes him down, but I guess he does have armor. 6+. Alright, yep. So the Galactic Solutions Trooper didn't really want to run out here, but his beast kind of pulled him out here. The Trooper goes down, and that sets his beast free. And then I'll go to Dr. O, who will fire his military rifle at the beast. Wide open, he needs a 5+, and he misses. Next, Ugrok will fire at him. Also needing a 5+, he hits against a toughness of 5. That causes a stun. And that causes the mutant brawler to get pushed back 1 inch. And the good thing about that is he's now beyond the 12-inch range of his shotgun. And I've decided I want Baffy and the hacker to act in the slow phase, so I'll essentially just have them do snap fires so I can activate them then. For the enemy phase, the lieutenant will choose to stay in his defensive position again. And then the bruiser, he is going to run 4 inches. He can't dash because he's stunned. To right there. And then for my slow phase, I'm going to have Baffy run 7 inches out this way, out into the open. And then he is going to activate his insta-wall. This can be placed anywhere within 3 inches of him and creates a 2-inch long force wall that can't be shot through, but does not block line of sight. And it might dissipate at the end of each following round. So this 2-inch long force wall will just show up right in front of him. And then the hacker can run 6 inches right up next to Baffy behind the cover of that wall. And I'm finally making some progress at getting the hacker toward the middle of the board. I still need to take out that bruiser that's quite the threat there and watch out for the lieutenant who's still on sniper duty. I'll roll up a battle event for the end of the round. 9. Well, as much as I really didn't want to see this actually makes sense. Enemy reinforcements. An additional 2 enemy figures arrive at the center of the opposing battlefield edge. One is a specialist. So my team has delayed too long and the firefight has attracted some more guards. And it says to put them at the center of the opponent's table edge, but putting them here at this gateway seemed to make more sense. So the regular soldier with an infantry laser and a specialist with a marksman's rifle. Reactions for the next round. I can use the 1, both 2s, and the 3. So I'll give the 1 to Dr. O, the 3 to Danik, and the 2s to Ugrok and to Baffy. And we'll start out with having Baffy run 7 inches right over by these barrels, and then I'll have him fire his auto rifle at that bruiser. Wide open, he needs a 5. He hits that against the toughness of 5. Causes another stun. Second shot. That one misses. So this thing has been stunned a lot. He'll go back an inch. And then Dr. O up there is going to fire his military rifle. Also needing a 5+ for a wide open shot. That one misses. And next we'll go to Ugrok, who's going to shoot at this bruiser. I'd like to have him move up the battlefield, but if he moves anywhere where he can see this guy, he's going to also be seen by the lieutenant, so he'll stand his ground and fire his military rifle. Also needing a 5, and he gets it. Against the toughness of 5, another stun. So he is pushed back another inch, given another stun marker, and then Danik is going to move up here, hugging this wall, where he still can't be seen by the lieutenant, and he'll fire his blast rifle at the bruiser. He needs a 5 or higher, but he has a +2 combat, and that hits him against the toughness of 5 with +1 damage. The third stun. Now this bruiser does have luck, so I'll say he can use the luck instead of acquiring that third stun. So he's going to end up moving 3 inches that direction. So that will send him 3 inches this direction. And that'll stay at 2 stuns. And now for the enemies, we'll start with the reinforcements. And I probably should have set these guys up on the opposite pillars, because I'm going to have the laser guy go 6 inches this way. Infantry lasers have the snapshot ability, which give them bonuses to hit from close range. And then the marksman is going to run 6 inches off this direction to try to take some cover behind these barrels. Their lieutenant, once again, cannot see any of my guys. And their bruiser, he's just going to run 4 inches over here. I know that'll put him where he can be seen by Danik, but there's not really any better spot for him to go. And he goes down to 1 stun again. And lastly, the hacker is going to run 6 inches over here behind Baffy. At the end of the round, I need to see if my insta-wall disappears. On a 6, it does. And unfortunately, it goes away. But I'll go ahead and roll up my reaction dice. And got a lot of nothing. I can use a 4 for Danik. So the immobile barrier goes away. And then Danik is going to fire his blast rifle at the bruiser. Wide open, he needs at least a 5 with a +2 combat. That hits against the toughness of 5 with +1 damage. Another stun. So that pushes him back an inch. He'd be at 2 stuns, but we'll go ahead and go to his turn. So he'll be at 1 stun, and from right there, he is barely within the 12 inches he needs to shoot Danik with his shotgun. Danik is in cover against that wall, so he needs a 6, and he has +1 combat. That misses. And then going to the reinforcements at the front of the board, their marksman is going to dash 6 inches over here into some cover. And this infantry laser wielding enemy will just run 6 inches up here. And since their lieutenant still can't see any of my guys, Dr. O up here is going to take a shot at the bruiser. 5+ for an open shot. That hits. Toughness of 5. Finally, we take this guy down. And finally, after I don't know how many shots at this guy, Dr. O lands the finishing blow, taking down the mutant bruiser. And next, I'll have Ugrok run 7 inches on a dash out over here. That will put him into view of the lieutenant if the lieutenant moves. So hopefully I can do better with my reaction rolls next time and he can act before the lieutenant. Of course, if the lieutenant is dead, then Ugrok won't have to worry about him. Baffy can move right up here to this corner, and from there, he can fire his auto rifle at their leader. Baffy's firing into cover, so this is a difficult shot, needing a 6. He hits with the first one against a toughness of 4. That gets past his toughness, and for an armor save of 6, he takes him down. So after my team had been missing just about everything, they take down both of the last remaining original enemies from the battlefield and have just the reinforcements to deal with now. And this also gives the hacker a straight shot at running over here and dashing up this ladder so he can hopefully get up there and put his virus into that computer system. And we'll see if any of these panic rolls finally come out in my favor, needing a 1 or a 2. And no, the reinforcements stay. I'll go ahead and roll up my reactions. I can use a 1 and a 3 or a 4. Well, back here on the back of the battlefield, I just want to get all my soldiers into some cover. So Ugrak will get the 1 from the reaction dice and move there. Danik will get the 3, and he can move and dash 7 inches right up over here. And going back around to the front, in 5 parsecs you can climb just about anything. So this guy's going to come over here and just climb up this with his movement. And then this specialist back there, they're defensive, so they want to try to hold their ground. But these guys want to try to stop my guys from what they're doing. So he's going to climb up here. And from right there, he can see Baffy down here and cover behind the corner of that building. So he needs a 6. He's got a +1 combat. That misses though. And to my slow phase, Baffy's going to fire his auto rifle back. This is wide open, so he needs a 5+. First shot misses, but he is aiming, so he can re-roll that. Misses the second time, no re-roll on that. Second shot, misses. And Dr. O, feeling emboldened after taking out that mutant, is going to step around this thing a little bit to where he can see the marksman. And he is just barely within the 24-inch range of his military rifle, and he'll take a shot. The specialist is pretty obscured from this vantage point, so he will have full cover. Dr. O needs a 6, and that's not aimed. And as for this other Galactic Solutions trooper, Ugrak will just hop up here, and he will take a shot with his military rifle at that one. Wide open, he needs a 5+, and he misses. And lastly, for my crew, the VIP is going to climb up here and hang out here by this computer to try to put in the virus. He has to spend a whole round there to successfully complete his mission. Reactions for another round. I can use a 2 and a 3. I'll give the 3 to Danik and the 2 to Baffy, who will start out by shooting at that marksman. This is wide open, needing a 5 or higher, and his tracker sight gives him a +1 since he shot at him last turn. That is a hit against toughness of 4. Just stuns him. He'll fire his second shot. That one also hits. Toughness of 4. A second stun. So he just gets kind of shoved back against this wall, and he's got 2 stuns. And then for Danik, he is going to move 5 inches over here behind this barrel, and he is going to fire his blast rifle up here at that soldier. From that angle, I'll say the enemy does have cover with the high ground. So needing a 6 with a +2, that hits. Toughness of 4 with a +1 damage, that takes him down. But wait, I almost forgot about the armor. A 6+, yep, he is gone. So this guy is blown off of there. And now we'll go to the enemy phase. So this sniper gets grazed by some bullets, sees his buddy go down, and he's going to take a shot at Baffy down there. Baffy is in cover, so he needs a 6 with a +1 combat. Oh no, and with a marksman's rifle, a 6 is a critical hit, meaning it causes 2 hits. Baffy has a toughness of just 3. First one, that gets past his toughness. He does have a screen generator, 5 or higher. He blocks that with his armor. The second hit that was inflicted also gets past his toughness. Will the screen generator protect him again? Wow, I rolled a Yahtzee, and Baffy successfully defends all that. So Baffy gets hit by that sniper bullet, but his screen generator absorbs it, and he gets 2 stun markers. The sniper stuns are reduced to just 1 after that. And now to my slow phase, here on the back of my table. Dr. O is just going to climb down from here. And then the hacker in the center of the table, since he's now been there for a full round, he has successfully uploaded the virus, and I win. However, I need to find out now if I hold the field. Now, normally after achieving your objective, at the end of that round and all subsequent rounds, you're supposed to roll to see if the enemy just takes off based on the enemy's AI. So in this case, defensive enemies, I'd roll 2d6. And then if either of those results are a 1, the enemies are all supposed to leave. I'm just going to go ahead and ignore this just to potentially make the battle more difficult, but I will go ahead and make enemy panic rolls. And we'll see if this sniper makes it easy on me by panicking on a 1 or a 2. And he does not, so I'll roll up reactions for another round. And I can't use anything but the 3. So I'll give that 3 to Danik. He wants to try to shoot this marksman, but can't reach him to shoot. He can, however, run over here to get in front of Baffy. He's got a higher toughness, so he's going to try to defend his buddy. And then the marksman's going to shoot at Danik. And that's a wide open shot, so he needs a 5 or higher with a +1 combat. That does hit Danik. And Danik has a toughness of 4. It gets past his toughness, armor of 5+. So seeing Baffy is in trouble, Danik jumps out and takes a bullet for his friend. So we'll go to my slow phase, and Baffy is just going to unload on that sniper. It's a wide open shot needing a 5 or higher, and Baffy's tracker sight gives him a +1 since he shot at the sniper last round. First shot hits against the toughness of 4, gets past the toughness, armor of 5+, that takes him down. With his friend laying on the ground bleeding, Baffy pulls himself up, fires, and takes down the last remaining security guard, securing the battlefield. And with that, the team has successfully uploaded the virus into Galactic Solutions computer systems, corrupting their research data regarding how to create mutant bugs and other bioengineered weaponry. But it might be at the cost of Danik Crowell. To start out my post-battle activities, I need to find out if these corporate security guards become rivals. And on a roll of a 1, they do, which they do not. And while I've had an active quest here for a few turns, I'm not on a quest battle, so we'll go ahead and go to getting paid. 1d6 plus 2 danger pay for a total of 7 credits. And with my protect mission, had I completed my objective within the first 4 rounds, I would gain 2 bonus credits, but it took me quite a while to get the hacker to the center of the board. So next I'll roll up my battlefield find for holding the field, 10. And that is a weapon. Randomly select a slain but not bailed enemy from the battlefield to keep one of the weapons they're carrying. So with the reinforcements, there were a total of 7 enemies that showed up. So 2 is one of the specialists with the marksman's rifle, so I don't have one of those yet, so that's nice to have. Next I'll roll up the loot plus the bonus loot from Talfo Yeris. We've got a 31 and 76. So that gets me a damaged weapon and some odds and ends. For the weapon category, 14, and the sub-table, 12. And I can tell you right now, this is never getting fixed. It's a damaged slug weapon, and then precisely it's a handgun. For my odds and ends, first roll, 35, and then specifically 63. And unfortunately, that got me a roll on consumables and just gets me 2 more stills. I now have 6 of these. I think I need to start using some of my consumable items. Alright, now to determine the extent of Danik's injuries. I will point out just how powerful luck is. If a character with luck would be slain through a roll on this table, they instead just lose all their luck points, and later they can earn additional luck points. But unless that occurs, all their luck points are recovered automatically. So luck provides another layer of insurance, not just during the battle, but also afterwards in case they've fallen in combat. And his survival roll, 89. Well, I didn't have to worry about him permanently losing luck points because an 89 means he was just simply knocked out, no long-term effect. So his luck is restored at this point. For experience points, since Danik was a casualty, he gets 1 experience there. However, he did inflict the first casualty on the enemy, so he gets another one there. And then Dr. O, Baffy, and Ugrak all get 3 experience points for surviving and winning. And Dr. O gains an additional experience point because he was the one that took out that unique mutant bruiser. With the experience points, the only one that has enough to do anything is Ugrak. He has 8, so he'll spend 7 of those to increase his combat score finally to +1. For buying and selling, I have a colony rifle that I've had for most of the game that I'm going to sell, and I also got another colony rifle during the pregame sequence, so I'll sell that one too. So 2 total credits there. And I'm going to go ahead and spend those to buy myself 2 blades, just so my characters end up in brawls, can stand a little better chance of winning. And then I'm going to pay 3 credits to make a roll on the gadget table. And I get 40. Alright, that is another insta-wall that I can give to somebody. Next, I'll roll up a campaign event. 81. Alright, so apparently someone in my crew has some old debts that they renegotiate. If I owed money, I could get 1d6 plus 1 credits. If I owed nothing, I just simply gain 2 credits. For my character event, just like the last battle, I'll only include the characters that were here for this battle. So 1 through 4 will be Danik, Dr. O, Baffy, and then Ugrak. And that goes to Baffy. And his character event is 14. Well, this seems familiar. You get a letter from home. I've rolled one of these up previously. And Baffy doesn't really have a home, just like Danik didn't earlier. But he gains 1 experience point. The other part I'll ignore because I'm already on a quest, so I can't receive a new one. But we'll figure out later in the story what this letter actually is, what this information is that Baffy has gathered. In my next battle, the crew will reunite to face off against a familiar foe whose name I can't remember how to pronounce. So be sure to brush 2 times a day for 2 minutes each time and floss your teeth daily so you won't miss that video. I'm Alan with Bricks and Blocks Gaming. Thanks for watching and play well. Brush your teeth 2 times a day for 2 minutes each time and floss your teeth every day.